Okay, so formalities out of the way. I'm not sponsored by this company by any means. This is an honest review. However, I was sent these sandals in exchange for the review. So keep that in mind. I'm trying not to have any biases. I'm trying to take these sandals as they are. So Earth Runners, this company is a small company based out of California. Their sandals are all handmade. Upon receiving them, I saw the materials are very high quality. So these are, I want to say the Circadian. I'll have a link down below so you can check out the sandals. Rubber bottom, Vibram sole, as you can see. This one has also the hemp footbed, which is optional. It adds an extra millimeter of height to the sandal, but it's a pretty nice surface. And that was something that they did differently, so I wanted to test out this hemp footbed as well. Got a pretty nice traction on the sole, and then what we have here that makes these sandals unique compared to other shoes on the market is there's a copper plug. You can see if my camera is going to focus. It's a copper plug that connects to these nylon laces, and they are conductive nylon. So basically what ends up happening is it grounds you. So I'm not here to talk about grounding or the health benefits or the scientific benefits. I think being barefoot is good. I think being barefoot on the earth is good for you. And if you believe in grounding, good. And if you don't believe in grounding and it still works, then it's good for your health anyway. So it's just a really cool thing that these sandals offer that I think only one other footwear company does it, and it's not really a minimalist footwear. So it's really cool that you have this added feature compared to an already high quality sandal. So conductive nylon lacing, it's one lace that goes all the way through and connects. So I think it's Huarache style. It's pretty cool. I don't know how else to explain it, but I can show you. It's a really interesting lacing system that's pretty unique compared to other sandals I've seen. These are the thinner models. So this is a 9mm sole and it's 8mm of rubber compared to 1mm of hemp, or with 1mm of hemp. They have a thicker one as well. So actually when I first got these, I thought they were a little bit thick because I have sandals that are quite a bit thinner. After walking with them a bit, I found actually the thickness was a pretty good compromise between being able to feel the floor but still having enough protection from potential punctures. What else do I have? This is a plastic, can you see that? It's a little plastic holder. So this is the excess lace. You can cut that. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The fit of these shoes is actually very customizable. I know when I first went for a stroll with them, in my right foot, this thong strap was really digging into the space between my big toe and second toe. And I had to take a few minutes and really play with the lacing to adjust it. But once I did, I find they were quite comfortable. I have taken these out on the trail as well. The difference is that on the trail I had to tighten them a lot more, so when I'm just walking around town I wear them pretty loose and they're not too difficult to slip on and off. However, on the trail, to get more traction, I did have to make them a lot tighter so they would stay on. As far as the flexibility of the sole, they're a little bit stiffer than some other ones. You know, they have the flexibility. I have some shoes that out of the box are super floppy. These have enough movement that I'm not worried about it. As far as the look, I think they look really good as far as sandals go. So I'll show you what they look like on the feet in a moment. But basically, yeah, you have Vibram rubber sole, you have hemp upper, which is optional, but it adds an extra $10 to the price. The price is not cheap. They range between $80 and $90 US, which is, you know, some of the higher end kind of thong running sandals, Huarache style, are also similar price. There are cheaper ones on the market as well. I think the quality is very high, and it is cool that they are handmade to order. So that's something else you get for the price. And the conductive nylon laces and the copper plug, of course, add something unique to that price that you're paying. So it's up to you whether you want to spend that. Sizing is pretty accurate. I normally wear a size 10 US, and these are a size 10 and they fit me quite well. Okay, so I'll show you what they look like on the feet. Normally, I like shoes for home that I can just slip on and off easily. These take a little bit of work to put on. You can do with one hand, but it's not quite as comfortable. But I slide the toe through, I pull it up, and then it's there. So do the other one, slide, comfortable. Once they're on, they stay on really well, so I haven't had an issue with them coming off. The only small issue would be on the trail is that I had to tighten them further. As far as how they look, I think they look good. You can see it allows the foot to function really well. You can see I can walk very naturally in them, so I can walk silently if I need to. I can absorb with the floor. On the trail, the one issue I found is that if I'm walking and lifting my toes like this as I step, sometimes the sand and the rocks can get underneath. Not too big of a deal, but it is something that I did have happen, so it's something to consider. So you do have to mess with the laces a little bit. It allows you to get a custom fit, but you have to really play with the sizing in the 3 different locations. And they do have a guide on how to do that, so I'll show you a little bit more of just walking, jumping. So, alright, so overall these are nice sandals. They're well made, good materials, good built construction. They're durable. I've taken them through a bit of hard use, and they've held up really well. This grounding plug is a really unique thing that other shoe companies don't offer, so I think that would be the main reason. But otherwise, the sandal is very high quality. It allows for a natural walking pattern. The sole is thin enough that you can feel the floor underneath you, but also thick enough that you don't have to worry about anything getting through it, because I have had punctures in thinner sandals that I've owned. Good flexibility. Take a little bit of tweaking, but yeah, overall I do recommend these sandals. They're going to be my main sandals, I think, for a while now until the weather gets cold. Only negatives really that I could think of is they're a little bit expensive, so it's up to you what you want to spend on it. I used to go for the cheaper things, and then I realized that the cheaper things don't last as long, so you end up having to buy it again, so it's usually some kind of compromise in that regard as far as quality versus price. I don't really do any trail running, so any running that I do would be barefoot, and it probably wouldn't be on the trail, so someone else would have to talk about that. But I know that because the sandal is a little bit stiff, when I lift the toes, the rocks and the sand get underneath. For walking, to me, it's not too much of a negative, but it's something you may experience more harshly if you were running on the trail. It's a nice tread on the bottom. You can see it's a pretty deep tread. I guess the positive for that is you have nice traction. The negative would be if you step on dog shit or something like that, you have more crevasses to clean out. But no worries. So yeah, Earthrunner sandals, if you're interested, I'll add a link below. And they have a lot of good information on their site, and on their social media they'll post a lot of things about just kind of barefoot mechanics and barefoot running in general, which I think is also really cool. So yeah, good sandal to check out, and I'll see you guys next time I'm on the YouTubes.